Hey everyone, and welcome to game 2 of 3 between the players StaLife and Inu.Huni, who is actually playing under the alias Pacifist. I'm going to be referring to him as Pacifist throughout the game because it just seems a lot easier to pronounce that. So, yeah, this is going to be a Terran versus Terran, and if you guys saw the last game, then you would know that we saw pretty much a mirror match throughout the first 7 or so minutes where they went a 1-1-1 build and they hid their starport across the map, both with Banshees with Cloak, did a fairly even exchange with their Banshees. However, Pacifist was able to get more ground mobility and overpower StaLife, who instead chose to go for a fast expansion but was not able to get enough static defense to defend against what Pacifist had to offer. So what are we going to see on this matchup today? It is a much smaller map, and already we see some kind of interesting play here. Two SCVs going across the map, setting up a barracks right here and another barracks right here, so we are seeing a proxy build on this map, and looks like StaLife is actually scouting for this. This is, I guess, a common tactic or something, but StaLife has spotted these two barracks pretty luckily and unluckily for Pacifist. So, yeah, this will be interesting to see how it plays out. Yeah, it's just going to take a couple of SCVs right now for StaLife to try to deny this build. Is Pacifist just going to be in the red after this? I think he's going to have to just cancel it, so that is a huge loss. 350 resources and one SCV dead already off the bat, but still sticking with the strategy, making another barracks right here, and it doesn't look like StaLife is going to rescout for anything that might be happening down there. So yeah, one barracks is about finished for StaLife as well as a refinery. And it looks like for Pacifist, he is very behind on the resources. He only has 15 SCVs. He just canceled his geyser, going for the supply depot right now. I think right now, if anything is going to win him the game early on, it's going to be this little barracks here. But the thing is, I don't know if he's really going to have enough to overpower a 1-to-1 barracks. It'll be kind of interesting to see what he tries to do there. But yeah, Pacifist in a bad position right now. StaLife was able to get that proxy spotted, so I'm not sure how he's going to be able to recover from this, because such an early loss like that is just huge blunder to the rest of the game. So he's fighting an uphill battle for sure. And StaLife is just scouting around, seeing what to expect from Pacifist. Orbital Command coming up right now. One Marine coming up here, and nothing being built out of this barracks right here. So I'm not sure what Pacifist is really expecting to do. One Marine is being trained. He might go for a bunker possibly right out here, and hopefully those Marines will not see that happening. That's the one thing I could see happening right now, or possibly trying to deny him an expansion, because we saw that StaLife was trying to go for somewhat of a fast expansion last game, but we'll see how that plays out. And 3 Marines actually going across right now, so StaLife rescouting the spot again, and Pacifist getting caught twice. This is really a bad spot for Pacifist this game. He's got caught twice and doing a good job there, trying to use that line of sight to kill the Marine, but he got a little bit too close into the brush and was able to get shot down. The barracks is going to be going in right here. He is going to at least be able to scout it out. A starport coming right now, and a Hellion being produced for StaLife, so Pacifist is just really fighting a huge uphill battle right now. I don't know what he can do. He's not really producing much. He's very out-tech. There's a factory and even a starport being constructed right now for StaLife. The barracks is going to be able to spot that. If anything, I think Pacifist should just be pumping out Marines as much as he can, maybe trying to get an engineering bay up or at least a bunker, because he's going to have a tough time against something like a Banshee with Cloak. He's going to have very little to deal with that. He's going to need to get an engineering bay, in my opinion. But it looks like he's actually going for a reactor, so we're probably going to see dropships from StaLife, if not maybe some Viking harass, and you might be doing some tank spotting, but I don't see any siege tanks coming just yet for StaLife. The tech lab is coming down though, so that might be coming soon. And good position by Pacifist, making it look like this ramp is open, and then closing in on it and trying to kill that Hellion down. Was able to get it back to, was able to get it down to 48 life. So another barracks for Pacifist right now. Marauders coming in, so I think right now Pacifist is going to stick to a Marine Marauder build. I think at this point it's kind of senseless to try to out-tech StaLife. So one Hellion going down, and they are whittling away at this Marine force, but I don't think that was the wisest choice for StaLife to go and fight on an uphill ramp like that. He just lost about an equal amount of Marines and 2 Hellions, so I don't think that was worth it. But at the same time, StaLife certainly in a comfortable position. He actually creating those Vikings, creating a siege tank right now, and also going for the tech lab. So we see for a pacifist, he is going the stim pack research, so he is going to be sticking to the M&M, getting that engineering bay in case a Banshee is coming out of here. Also good for upgrades. So what would really benefit Pacifist right now is to scan for this, because he might not need to invest resources into missile turrets if he sees that the starport does have a reactor. But we'll see what he decides to do there. Yeah, so he does have one missile turret going down right here, actually in his economy line. So it is gonna impede a little bit on what he's trying to do. Pacifist should be trying to go for a couple of more Marauders at least, because what he really should be doing actually is trying to get a scout in here, or at least scan, because this is crucial to see what this starport tech is going. If he is not going Banshees, then he can go easy Marines, but if he's not going Banshees, then StaLife is going siege tanks, in which case Marines are really not going to help him there. So at this point in the game, he should be making Marauders, but he just doesn't know what to expect quite yet from StaLife. So SCV Harvester Transplant is coming down right now, so StaLife is going to be soaring ahead economically. He has his siege tank set here. He has already instant saturation on this base. Another orbital command. Vikings scouting around. He has pretty much full map control at this point. One Marine getting the Zelnaga watchtower right here, but I'm sure that's not going to last too long. Those Vikings are flying around. So as we see, there is a starport, a factory with a reactor. So I'm assuming we might either see a switch or Hellions being pumped out of here. I don't really think we are going to see Hellions against a mech build like that. So this missile turret might actually be not a bad idea. Getting a couple of They might be able to get a couple of hits on these Vikings, but of course, once those Vikings go down into the ground mode, that missile turret is going to be not that helpful. But right now, Pacifist just with a handful of units. Looking at the size of the army, I actually think this goes more towards Harvesters. As we see on the units, it's 37 versus 24 Harvesters right now. And then the army size is actually fairly comparable. StaLife obviously is a little bit ahead. He does have some siege tanks. And Pacifist trying to keep up in the game, getting that expansion as he should. Right now he is making fairly good decisions. He should be pumping pretty much exclusively Marauders at this point, because there's not much reason to get any other anti-air except for those Vikings. But like I said, once Vikings go in ground form, then Marauders can also deal with them pretty well. So he does have the stim pack. He should, if he is going Marine Marauder build, he should be upgrading weapons at least to try to give him some kind of edge in the game, because right now he is out-teched and out-manned. So if he does go for a weapons and an armor upgrade, that might actually give him a substantial edge in the game, because it looks like that StaLife isn't doing any of that. I don't see an armory and engineering base just being produced right now. As we see, Pacifist is loading up his medevacs, so we actually might see a drop. But these Vikings are out here, so they might get caught. And actually, we do see that StaLife is going for a drop of his own. 4 Hellions coming in here, but there are a decent amount of infantry to deal with this right now. You might need to bring back those 2 Marauders, but there's going to be a lot of damage on this economic line. He does have that pre-igniter upgraded, so a huge loss to StaLife right there, losing tons of SCVs. It looks like he lost about 12 SCVs right there, and he's going to be able to mop up the rest of this force, and these 2 medevacs are just kind of chilling here right now. I don't know how much damage they're going to be able to do. There are 2 Vikings sitting here right now. They might even be able to snipe out one of the medevacs before they're able to land. A Viking party going here, and it looks like StaLife just has really fantastic map control right now as the game is going on. Pacifist is just starting to saturate this, but we do see that the drop is going down. He's not actually choosing to drop in his main base, which is a huge mistake for Pacifist, because the siege tanks were waiting right there perfectly, and they are dropping on the siege tanks right now, so he might be able to get a couple of these tanks down, but only 2 for an exchange of a handful of Marauders and Marines. So that is the game right there. I'm not sure what the players just said. It could be GG. If someone wants to translate that and leave it in the comments, that would be awesome. But it also just kind of looks like a face, like sad face. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't read this language. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. That is the matchup, and really what affected this game the most is that Pacifist did try to go for that proxy barracks push right here, and he tried to pump out some Marines, but that didn't work for him. I think he would have had a lot of success if it did work, because if you can surprise the other opponent with enough Marines early on, especially if they're going a 1-1-1 tech build, then that could be very effective. But Pacifist or StaLife apparently was looking out for a proxy build like that and was able to spot it, brought a couple of SCVs down, and was able to handle it quite well. Pacifist was pretty much fighting an uphill battle from then on. He could have done a little bit more scouting to try to get a better composition. If he went exclusively Marauders, I think that would have helped him out in the long run, and maybe gone for a couple of early upgrades. But really, it was going to be a tough game for Pacifist regardless of what happened. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am Maze. If you enjoyed this commentary, please subscribe to my channel. It will be posted in the link below. And also subscribe to iCCupTV. Also, before I forget, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, iFixit, SCVs for the real world, Esports United, The Handsome Nerd, iCCupTV, and TeamLiquid.net. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next matchup.